whether they can have the title of minimalist or not based on their material possessions. Because wasn't that the whole point of minimalism in the first place, is to detach yourself from material possessions? And since none of it matters, you can buy. Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobras Nest. For those who are here new, my name is Mignon Cobra, and I make minimalism videos. So today's minimalism video is going to be, can you have nice things as a minimalist? So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo! So this is an interesting question that I've actually been asked by subscribers throughout the years. The first time that I got this question asked, actually both times that I've been asked this question by subscribers, have been in relation to cars. So I just wanted to make it a general video. But yeah, I had a subscriber ask me like, can they be a minimalist even though they have a BMW? And I remember thinking at the time, like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that in the minimalism community, there is this big push to let go of brand names, luxury items, nice things. So I was a bit confused at the time. I mean, now I understand, now that I'm like more balls deep in minimalism, like I can understand why that subscriber talked about, you know, the BMW was holding him back in his minimalism journey. I recently had a subscriber, and I'll put it up here. Obviously, I'm gonna block out her name for privacy's sake. But yeah, she was talking about like she was kind of like stuck, you know, between like two possible car models. I thought I'd make a video out of it because these have been my own personal struggles. So when I first came across minimalism was more just like a focus on just like maybe just having like less stuff. Actually, there's all different types of aspects of minimalism, but when I first came across it, like I didn't even know that that was like part of it. I mean, I guess I sort of did. I knew that a lot of people like don't buy luxury items as a minimalist. As I kept watching minimalism content throughout the years, I would say that like there's all kinds of minimalists, and some cool aspects of minimalism that I liked, that I took with me, that actually freed me a lot, is that some minimalists prefer to buy better. They prefer to buy better. Like they feel justified in since the fact that they're not gonna buy a lot, they can buy better. And I was like, I like that. Like I really like that. And for me, I can kind of sum it up as like the boot fallacy. If you guys have ever heard about that, it's like, are you really going to be constantly buying bad grade stuff, which is like not good for the environment, not good for you, not good for your wallet, as opposed to just buying like one good pair of boots and wearing it for life? Obviously there's a lot of criticisms of this, you know, that is like a privileged thing. What if you can't even afford the good boots? I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just speaking about the philosophy. And that's something that has really freed me about like me feeling really bad, as if the two things could not coexist. Like if I'm a minimalist, I can have nice things. That is not the way or the perspective I have. I don't see these things as opposite things. I see them as one. I'm a minimalist who can afford to buy better because I'm not constantly buying a lot. And that is something that has really freed me. Another aspect that's freed me a lot too is intention. I'm really intentional about what I buy. And I think that's something that has freed me a lot. One time I read in a Reddit talking about how minimalists shouldn't be buying Nespresso machines, which again, I'm not here judging anyone or judging this person's opinion about the Nespresso machine, but they were saying that like the Nespresso machine is society controlling you and telling you that these are the things that you should have and you shouldn't be owned by your stuff. And to be a true minimalist is to be elevated beyond wanting an espresso machine, which is probably this Redditor's journey, and I completely respect that. And I guess I have the opposite thought of that. For me, I felt like I was truly living my best life once I got an espresso machine. I no longer needed to deal with the very loud sound of the grinding of the beans, the cleanup, the mess of it. Like I thought it was very beautiful. I thought it was very like me living my best life having an espresso machine, even though it was more expensive and the pods are more expensive. I think the bean tastes amazing. I think it's super aesthetic. I love popping the little pod on the thing. So for me, I felt like my minimalism included an espresso machine in my life. And I think like if we come back to the notion of the car, I think that a lot of sustainability is intertwined with minimalism. But I do like to mention this because I feel like this is probably an unpopular opinion in minimalism. They are two different concepts. There are plenty of bougie minimalists. Like I think Kelly Stamps is a good example of a bougie minimalist. I don't know if anyone could necessarily say that she's very sustainable, but she is a minimalist and she does buy good quality stuff. So I think it's important for us to separate notions and not get them intertwined. You can be a minimalist, but that doesn't necessarily translate to sustainability. So I guess at the end of the day, if you're like gonna buy a car, you should ask yourself like, how do you feel about it? Like, what are your values? Do you value sustainability? Do you value the car maintenance costs? Do you value... There must be a world of things that you value in your car. And at the end of the day, find one that is suitable to your lifestyle. So for me, I don't own a car. I don't know if people do or do not know that. I mean, I guess I take a lot of selfies in the car. That's not my car. That's Will's car. I had no say whatsoever in what kind of car he has. It's a Mazda, if anyone's wondering. But for me personally, I'll be honest, if I can afford to get a car, of my choice, it's going to be a BMW. I don't know if that can free anyone or if that's just gonna make everyone pass judgment on me. But I have never hid who I truly am. I love bougie things and I'm not ashamed. I love bougie things as a minimalist. I feel like those are two things that go hand in hand for me, which is not a very popular notion. If you want an example of a minimalist who does a really good job of encapsulating a bougie minimalist, watch Colorful Noir. She has a Birkin and a Kelly and she likes designer goods. So I feel like who are we in the minimalism community to be judging somebody else whether they can have the title of minimalist or not based on their material possessions? Because wasn't that the whole point of minimalism in the first place, is to detach yourself from material possessions? And since none of it matters, you can buy whatever you want. You're not more morally superior to somebody else because you buy Tim Hortons instead of Starbucks. And that's something that's freed me, because I'll be honest, I had that issue. Yeah, I'll say it on camera. I thought I was better than everybody else because I did or didn't buy things. But I mean, that's part of growth, right? Reflecting on these things and realizing it was just my ego getting in the way, me just wanting to find something to make myself feel better, because the truth was I was drowning in student debt. So it's okay. Like, it is totally okay to use minimalism as a coping mechanism to help you get ahead financially. I think honestly it's just awareness at the end of the day. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have nice things. I think that's human nature, and if you feel like that's just not part of your journey, you don't want to have nice things in your minimalism journey because you're on a journey of self-reflection, I think that that's wonderful too. So honestly at the end of the day, it's asking yourself what's the most important thing, and the only person who can answer that is yourself. I think it's great to follow minimalists for inspiration and guidelines, but that's something that I've always said on my channel. Minimalism is a lifestyle. It's just a guideline. It's not like Bible. They're not rules. You can break all the minimalism rules and still be a minimalist. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that this video was food for thought. Comment down below your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.